Hey. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope you are all having a great hump day. Gonna give it just a few minutes to see if anybody gets on here live, because would love to catch you all in the comments. Um, so hopefully y'all are having a great day. It's nice and sunny here where I'm at in California, which is it looks great outside. Last couple of weeks it's been kind of dreary and it's like blue skies and sunny, so it's looking good. So hope you are all having a great week. I am Christina Springstead. I am coming at you from Springstead Solutions, owner and founder. We focus on profit strategy and profit strategy support, bookkeeping, payrolls, and some other things. So I am here going live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And hopefully you guys can't hear my dogs freaking out in the background. Apparently the neighbors' gardeners have now decided this is the time to come. So every Wednesday I'm coming at you with what I'm going to call a tiny tip. So wanting to go live, providing some support, really looking at what makes sense to give out to my small businesses who are looking to focus on profit. Because if you don't know, I am a certified Profit First Professional Mastery level. And so my business is really diving into helping small businesses focus on their profits. So if you've heard of Profit First, that is, I got to get this right here, over here. This book right here, if you've heard of Profit First, it's an amazing book. If you haven't, buy it, or you can download the first 2 chapters from my website or listen to it. But it really takes business finances and breaks it down into an entry and elementary kind of level for entrepreneurs, and helps make sure that you're focusing on the profits in your business and don't get too lost in your expenses and all that. Hi, Mike, can you hear my puppies? They are freaking out in the background. They want to play with the gardener, I think. So my business, we're absolutely focused and dedicated to helping small businesses focus on their profits, because one of the things that I've noticed, I came from running someone else's business for a while. I've been involved in finances and other businesses, and some of the small businesses is just finances are overwhelming, and trying to get a handle on how much should you spend, what you should be doing here, what should your profit be, should you be taking all the expenses and having no net income. It's just the gamut of all the things. So I wanted to come weekly. I want to keep these lives really short because, again, so much content to take in that when you get to 20, 30, 40-minute lives, I feel like people start to tune out. So I'm just coming with a tiny tip each week for you. The last couple of weeks, I went over kind of auditing your books, and I didn't really refer to profit there because it's tax time, and I figured everyone's getting ready. But I'm going to try to make sure that I tie these tiny tips back into why this matters in profitability in your business. So this week, I wanted to talk to you guys about reconciling your accounts. I think we've all known that this is important since the first time we got a bank account, right? Like you got your check register, which I know Mike is on here listening, and she's like, what is a checkbook? Don't even use it anymore. I still use a checkbook. Finally moved my check register into QuickBooks since I went into here full time. But so reconciling, you want to take your accounts, whether it's your bank statement, your credit card, and you need to make sure that what the bank is saying that you have at the end of the month and those wonderful statements that you get is what your system shows that you have. And so the big goal when people are going in there is like, you got to balance out to zero, right? So if you use QuickBooks Online, that's what I focus on. I also do QuickBooks. No checkbooks. I know, Mike, and you're not a checkbook fan. But if you go to QuickBooks Online, that's most of what I do. And so I'm going to refer to that is you go to reconcile and there's the green button, right? In QuickBooks Online, the green means good. Green, good. And so you're trying to balance out to zero. You get green balance. Hey, everything reconciled out. You hit good to go. You get your reconciliation report. You're moving on. That's great. And that's exactly what you want. But there's other things to look at. So doing your reconciliation and looking at what's coming up in the screen can give you some really good information. So I just want to highlight those. And then what you guys can do for homework is go back into your accounting system and take a peek at your past reconciliation reports and see if you might have some cleanup. So the first thing to be aware of is I'm going to start with your credit cards. So if you have company credit cards and you have like bank feeds coming to QuickBooks Online, which is amazing until you don't know what you're doing, and then it can be a disaster. So the biggest tip for me on credit card reconciliations is when you go to reconcile your credit card, you should have no uncleared transactions, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 at the very end of the date of your reconciliation that maybe the feed didn't come through and catch it on that last day that your reconciliation. So if you got a credit card statement today and it ended on February 22nd, if you had an open charge around the 22nd, that would make sense. There's just a bit of a glitch. But if you had things that were not checked off in your reconciliation earlier in the month at all, there's a problem. Because as you know, credit cards are what they are. It gets charged, you owe it. You make a payment, it comes through. There's no, the check got held, there's none of that. So if you've got stuff that's open, that's a concern. You could have duplicate transactions in there. You could have duplicate payments in there, and that means that your books are off. So you want to go check that. So you can go into the system, look at your past reconciliations, and if you have anything that's open and uncleared prior to a day or two before the end of your statement, you've got some cleanup work to do. So that's number one. So then we're going to move into bank statements and reconciliations. So those can have those weird things. The check got lost in the mail, someone's holding on to it, you cut checks the day that the statement ends. So you can have open transactions in there. That makes sense. But what you want to do is you check everything off, make sure it's all good. Look at the items that you're not checking. How old are they? I've got clients who've got stuff in there that I just started working with from 2019. That check is expired. It needs to be written out of the system and maybe reissued. So that's a problem. Or they've got stuff, it was a duplicate of something that came in through. They didn't actually match the check and the bank feed correctly, and they've got duplicate expenses in their system. So you want to go back. One, you can go into your check register in the system and you can sort by all things that are uncleared. See how old those are. If you've got stuff going back months and months, you've got cleanup work to do. Print out your old your most recent, it's Wednesday, reconciliation report. There's a section that is completely called out that says uncleared transactions prior to the date of your statement. If that's a long list, you want to carefully take a look. Does it make sense? Are you someone who prints a check and maybe holds it right away? Do you know that you just sent it out? It's fairly new. Or if there's really old stuff, you're going to be like, hey, what happened here? I'm not sure. Again, you could have duplicates that didn't get matched, or maybe the check did get lost in the mail and the person never got it and never cashed it. You can reach out and kind of find out what's going on there. So those are all things that you want to get cleaned up so that you can have a clean register. So those really are important when it comes to your profitability. So I've recently been doing some profit assessments for my clients. And as you know, if you read Profit First, there's an instant assessment that you can do. You can actually download a worksheet for that at my website if you want to, springsteadsolutions.com. There's a section that says free sources. I kind of tagged it free resources, right? So free sources, you go in there, there's a profit assessment. It's got some instructions that I put together for you. You can run a profitability assessment on your business. But say you ran that assessment and you had a bunch of duplicates, like credit cards, you had a bunch of stuff. And so you have duplicate expenses in your system or duplicated income. Maybe you made a deposit and you didn't match it. That's going to affect your profitability. Your reports are going to be completely off, and we don't want that. We want your books to be clean. You should really be in there, weekly, taking a few minutes to clean up your books and get that all taken care of, because when you're looking at your bottom line, and the thing I love about Profit First is it talks about bank balance accounting, right? So a lot of people don't use their books. Like some people are like, bank balance accounting, we're more professional than that. Yes, but some people do it because their books are such a mess because they've had transactions that are sitting there and they're like, hey, my bank says I have $10,000, but my books say it's like $3,000. It doesn't match. I don't know what it is. I'm out. I'm just going to check the bank. That could be a dangerous way to be making your decisions, right? So you want to make sure your books are clean and ready to go pretty regularly. I would encourage weekly checks, get everything in, but monthly at a minimum. You start waiting until the end of the year. You're the person who reaches out to the bookkeeper at the end of the year. It's tax time. It's going to cost you a fortune to get that done because 12 months worth of transactions is a lot. So set aside 30 minutes a week, get in there, assign all your stuff, look for things that haven't cleared. Maybe you can catch that problem ahead of time. Get your stuff reconciled out, because in order to know if you're really profitable, your books have to be clean and you can't be having all of this duplicate in there. I've seen so many clients with duplicate income. And they wonder, ooh, I'm gonna start coughing. I got all excited. Excuse me. They wonder why their numbers aren't right. They wonder why their financials say, yes, you're profitable, you should have all this money, and they're having a hard time paying their bills. If there's a plug for product that I can do, someone let me know. If you got a contact there, I'll keep drinking it every time. Excuse me, now it looks like I'm crying. I'm passionate about this, so people get in there and reconcile your stuff. So again, it's really important. Reconciliations can tell you so much more than just, did you match what the bank statement has? It can tell you if your books are having a hard time, if you're maybe having a hard time with your bookkeeping and you think you've got it really clean, and then you realize, hey, I've got unclear transactions for months and months going back. There's something in the system going on that maybe you're not aware of, and you should reach out for some support. So lots of bookkeepers like to help. I think I'm good. I'm going to be okay. Again, if there's a product placement, I'm here for it. So that is my tiny tip for you all today. Get in there and do your reconciliation. Don't wait months and months to do it, because if you go, 3, 4, 5 months at a time and say, I'm going to reconcile all my stuff, but you've been relying on your numbers for all that time and you somehow duplicated bank feeds or have duplicate information in there, and you're making decisions in your company based on really bad financial information. It happens all the time. It's very common. No judgments here, obviously, but we just want to get you educated on ways that you can catch it ahead of time. And again, if you have that happening regularly and you're not really sure why, reach out to a bookkeeper. Plenty of bookkeepers will do a little bit of support training for you. There are, as needed help calls that are around. That's actually something I'm going to be bringing on, is if you need, a 30 or 60-minute consult, you can book that. So you don't necessarily have to use me, but I can get in and look at your books and take a peek and see if I can help you get past that system. So that is the tiny tip for you guys today. Again, as promised, keeping it short. So get into your reconciliations, credit cards, nothing outstanding unless it's that last day or two at the end of your statement. If so, check it out. You've got some problems. Bank statements. Check what's uncleared. Make sure it seems legit. If you have really old stuff, you need to clean out. And you might have a vendor that maybe you've paid and they don't think you've paid them. And maybe you've got a relationship that's been challenged and you're not even aware because you submitted a check, it got lost in the mail, it's never cleared, but you didn't put 2 and 2 together that maybe they never got it. So you want to, it's a good customer service option with your vendors too, right? So that's my tip for you today. I encourage you, again, go to my website. There's the free sources page. The first 2 chapters of Profit First you can download. The assessment you can also download, fill out that worksheet. You can leave comments in this page if you want to, or on any of the videos where you're at. Feel free to invite your friends in. And again, each week I'm bringing you a tiny tip and we'll relay it back to why this matters in your profitability, because that's the one thing we want is my goal is to help small businesses become permanently profitable, not just profitable this week or this month, but permanently. So we're going to give you the little tips and tricks that make sure that if you're a DIYer, do-it-yourselfer, you've got some things to look for, or you might just finally realize like, hey, it's time to get some help. So I hope you all have a great week. I look forward to catching you back here next Wednesday at 2 p.m. Typically I say, what am I going to talk about? But I'm not sure because, again, I'm going to make sure these tips are related to profitability for you. So I'll be doing some planning and I'll surprise you with something for next week. So glad to have you all here. Please invite people to the page, my Springstead Solutions business page on Facebook or the Permanently Profitable Facebook group page. And if you are interested in Profit First and you're like, oh my gosh, I love it, wish I could have some, I do coaching on it. So you can reach out. I'm glad to consult with you. And I will be launching a digital course walking you through. It's just going to be 7 weeks where we're going to take a step of the book each week. And that's going to start in May. So if you're interested, you can sign up on the wait list on my website. But definitely a system that works. It's tried and true. I couldn't recommend it enough. And with that, I'm out of here and have a great day. See y'all next week.